dead. Are you dead?
Only for tax reasons.
Uh-huh. So, what's our agenda today? Go over to the Conjurers Guild and poke the podule?
Pretty much. I just figured we were going to conjure things. I mean, that's the entire point, right?
Something like that. Conjuring up some of those sweet, sweet heals.
I've got sweet, sweet heals. Look at these.
Yeah, all 6 inches of them.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand Square's thing of Vera wear high heels to compensate for the fact that they're digigraded. Wait, what?
Yeah. Admittedly, a little bit of support would probably not be amiss, but I don't understand how this works.
Yeah, well. So welcome to the Conjurers Guild. Woohoo! Now we get our conjuring history lesson. Right here. And maybe I can get rid of this shield hair. That'd be awesome.
For a little bit.
Until they give me a wooden shield.
Does
straighten my
this
hair.
class use shields? Like
Yes.
Mage?
Yes!
Oh dear.
Shields and
Oh,
walls.
that won't last forever.
Yeah, those go away at level 50. Poof, gone! Well, met adventure, you've come to the Stillglade Fane, home of the Conjurers Guild. We conjurers harness the power of earth, wind, and water that abound in nature, and therefore weave spells of healing and protection. Do you ever see noble souls to initiate into our mysteries? Might you be such a soul, come to join our guild?
Yes.
Do you wish to join
Yes,
the
I
Conjurers Guild? Yes, yes I do, because I'd rather be this than a 4-8 bookworm. Then allow me to provide you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. And here's the history lesson. Conjuring is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the power of nature that they might bring about change in the form of spells. Primitive magic, such as once wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those with the ability to manipulate aether, has existed since the dawn of time. It is not until some 5 centuries ago that conjuring emerged from its shapeless amalgamation?
Agglomeration.
Okay. Emerged from the shapeless agglomeration of spells and charms, an event which led to the founding of Gridania. In those dark days, the elements would not suffer man's presence in the Twelveswood, forcing our forebears to make their homes beneath the earth in the great subterranean city of Gilmora.
Right.
But their desire to settle in the Twelveswood continued to burn fiercely. Time and again they sought to curry the elements' favors. Unlike men and other creatures bound to temples of flesh, the elements are beings of pure aether. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld reasoned that their talent for aether manipulation might allow them to commune with these theretofore. I was getting it! You're not helping me. Their talent for etheric manipulation might allow them to commune with these theretofore ignatic entities. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. The reward? The elements' permission to dwell in the Twelveswood. So it was that the nation of Gridania was born. Since that time, the elements have taught us to live as one with nature. Speaking to all Gridanians here, though the healers... Speaking to all Gridanians through the healers, those mages who are able to commune with them. And for their intimacy with the elementals, the healers would go on to attain greater mastery over the forces of nature. Thus did they conceive of the art of conjuring. And that My most attentive listener is a brief history on conjuring.
And we're done.
If you would mind to walk our path, I wholeheartedly recommend you join our guild. It would be my pleasure to explain the initiation process to you. Please speak with me again when you're ready.
Of course, tell Laura we will run into it again, though not very often.
Yeah, but there's a whole history to unpack there.
Yeah.
Especially between the Wildwood and the Duskrites.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the Tajal. Is your mind made up? Are you ready to join the Conjurers Guild? Yes, I want to learn the way of conjuring.
Way of the Conjurer. Adele wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Conjurers Guild.
That is well. I shall introduce you to our guild master, Brother E. Sumi Yan. Brother E. Sumi Yan presides over the Conjurers Guild even as he serves as the nation as a hearer. You will find him in the meditation area within. Go to him and make known your desire to join the guild. Ignore Brea for a moment.
If I must.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Quest marker!
We're all.
You're come to participate in the meditations, I presume.
I don't think one of these guys is meditating. I think he's sleeping. Yeah, he's sleeping.
Same thing.
Out like a light. Isumion.
Greetings, adventurer. I'm told you wish to become a conjurer still great fame. I am Brother Isumi Yan, master of this guild. Before you are formally accepted into our ranks, I would impart to you the principles of conjuring. Pray attend me well. Conjuring is an arcane art that takes life and the living for its domain. Its primary purpose is the solving of hurt and the granting of protection. Adventurers such as yourself oft stand on the front lines of battle. Owing to this, you are like to find yourself in many situations where capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there is more to conjuring than that. By harnessing the power of earth, wind, and water, conjurers are also capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. In terms of sheer destructive power, conjuring may pale in comparison to thaumaturgy, but its capacity to defend one against aggression more than compensates for this relative shortcoming. In mastering healing and purification, not only will you be able to mend wounds and purge afflictions, you will also be able to breathe life back into the fallen. More than simply healers, yet not true dealers of destruction, conjurers realize their full potential when they employ their powers in support of others. This, my dear adventurer, is what it means to be one of us. Mayhaps that was too much to grasp upon a single hearing, but worry not, for the meaning of my words will come clear to you in due time. Aye, you will come to understand that conjuring is not the sole province of the conjurer. Should you wish to walk our path, I must needs ask that you solemnly vow to embrace nature, to heed the will of the elementals and the Twelveswood alike. Can you make this vow? Do you vow to embrace nature?
Sure, whatever. I know, not the most confident of vows.
Oh. I knew your answer ere your lips at birth, and I am no less pleased to hear it. By the power vested in me, I hereby name you a member of your guild. If you would be so kind as to lend me your hunting room, I shall add to it the names of such creatures as would pose a suitable challenge for a conjurer. And to mark this momentous occasion, I present to you this cane. Though it may be old and weathered, it will serve you well as you take your first steps upon the path of the conjurer. Take up your cane, Ladunya, and present yourself to me once more. I would assign you your first task as a Conjurer Stillblade fame.
And now things get a little embarrassing.
Time to get naked.
Pretty much. But first, I want to set up a new gear set.
You kind of do that after you.
Well, you can do it as soon as you get the your item.
Yeah, okay. Still, it seems like it'd be more convenient to do it once you've got it equipped. And maybe a few other things.
Do I have any? No, everything else is in the guild chest! Or the glamour chest! I am a naked bunny!
Yeah! Oh dear.
Except for jewelry. I kept the jewelry.
Yeah, same here. And I have the Wild Rose bandana still.
Like you could see it. Because we're buns.
Pretty much. If it's something that's going to make a difference, I don't have it.
I don't know I don't know if I want to run through the city naked. I guess we're gonna have to.
Now, we want to be rockstar. We want everyone look first place.
I know! And half our equipment will probably leave us with more skin showing than what we currently have, but still! The last thing I want to do is be out in the wilderness and have a wardrobe malfunction!
Yeah, well. Don't trust me, we won't have any wardrobe malfunctions like this. There's nothing to malfunction.
We're here showing you our stabs and our whitey-tighties.
You asked us to present ourselves, well, here we
We're
are.
presenting ourselves.
My first king. Get off my lawn! Brother Isumiyan wishes to assign you your first as a Conjurer Stillblade fame. Get dressed!
Please and thank you.
The part of Conjurer becomes you, Ladonia. Is he hitting on me?
I think he's hitting on you.
Without further ado, I shall assign you your first task as a Conjurer Stillblade fame. Just beyond the city gates, you will encounter squirrels, ladybugs, and fungars. I would have you slay 3 of each.
In our whitey-tighties?
Lest you wonder how I can so coolly order the taking of them. Know that things are not as they once were. As a consequence of the calamity, and I may add, through no fault of their own, these creatures have become a burden to the 12th Room, a burden it cannot well bear. As a conjurer, it is your duty to carry out the will of the forest, and by employing your powers in so doing, you will come to learn something of your art. Go now, Ladonia and Rena, and perform your first task in the name of the elementals.
In our whitey-tighties.
Hush. It's only worse if you keep drawing attention to it.
Oh, that's a level 3 quest. We're level 1.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Biddy.
Hmm?
Go quietly within these caverns, lest you misunderstand. I speak not such of sound as one's ears might hear. Here we open our hearts to the whispers of the elements. Take care that you do not disturb this communion by bringing tumultuous thoughts. Yeah, sure.
Our thoughts are pretty tumultuous at the moment. We'd better get going.
Yeah, the sooner we can get out of this, the better, I think. Oh, and I need to redo my bar. Give me a sec. That's a little better. I think, maybe?
My bar is pretty simple. Stone.
Yeah, remember I sent her...
Oh, streaking, we're gonna be getting stoned. Okay, question.
Yes?
Which 3 elements were the 3 that Conjurer uses? Earth, water, and wind?
Yes.
Huh. Yeah, that's no particular pattern in their elemental scheme, actually.
I think earth, water, and wind are considered stasis.
No.
No?
Wind is astral. Water and earth are umbral. The
That-
third umbral one is ice. I
Right.
looked up the diagram from that explanation that we got a couple months back.
Well, both black magic and white magic, at least cosmologically speaking, both have astral and umbral cycles to them. So that actually kind of makes sense that the Conjuring
Yeah.
would have some in one and some in the other. Or at least one in the other.
Yeah, but you also remember that diagram, how it had basically the 2 overlapping triangles?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't confine itself to one of those triangles either.
Look, ground squirrels. Turn, damn you, turn!
The next time we do this, let's say we be a little bit more prepared.
What? Us prepared? This ground squirrel is hitting on me.
No comment.
Really?
Yeah, really?
Maybe we should have taken that quest.
Well, I don't...
Yeah, we could.
Okay, we just need to turn it in. Okay.
And I see we have cure already.
Yeah, that came in at 2. Oh, there's the ladybug.
And first fungus are off this way. Yeah, here's one. Look out, there's a fungus among us. That one. I want that one.
Wow. And there's Arrow.
Arrow is a dot.
Right. Hold on a moment. Okay. Follow. I'm going to lean over here and see how you're arranging the bar.
Keep in mind, I sent her on 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And hopefully I did not clip you going through the gate.
You did not. They're generally much better about that these days.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put Cure at 4 because that's where Raylea's generally had it for Scholar.
That'd be physic.
Yeah.
And we should probably start rounding, or at least once we get this, we should turn this in and start picking up side quests.
You realize we'll be getting the, or be capable of doing the level 5 quest on these too.
Yeah, well...
Okay, the first roll action will come in at 8. Next regular spell comes in at 10. So it looks like we're done getting abilities for the moment. There is something else to check. Nope.
Nope.
Getting to level 4 is not qualified me for anything I happen to still have hanging around in my inventory.
Oh, good question. Anything? Nope. Just the jewelry.
Yeah,
I
5
could
or
see where
6
my
is doing it.
my loyalties lie.
Welcome back, Ladonia and Rena. The elementals have told me of your success. By placing yourself in the midst of nature and seeing it with a conjurer's eyes, you've taken your first step along the path to enlightenment. Healing, protection, and destruction. Though our spells vary in function, they all derive their power from the same source, the forces embodied in all creation. By gaining a true understanding of these, a conjurer may call upon them to manipulate his environment, thereby realizing the state of being that he desires. Ah, yes, yours is a familiar look, the very picture of confusion. Be not disheartened, for comprehension shall come in due time. For now, you must learn to reach out to the forces embodied in each of us. Pray hearken to mine instructions. Breathe deep, and open your eyes to that which cannot be seen. Feel the myriad life around you, and draw upon this boundless reservoir of energy. Take up your cane, and use it to lend that energy form. Go forth, my young conjurer, and be at one with the world. Return to me when you've learned to draw upon the forces around you with the self-same ease you draw upon those within. Next conjurer quest will be available from ease on reaching level 5.
Which is not with his quest return.
No. Okay, Brea, what do you want? Essential oil. Loves. Brea is busy with preparations for the coming ceremony and needs an adventurer to bring her scarlet oil.
Might you perchance be comfortable around Vilekin? If so, I have an urgent need for your assistance. You see, I was preparing for the forthcoming augurals when I found, to my great embarrassment, that we lacked the requisite quantity of scarlet oil. If it is not too much to ask, would you be most grateful if you could resupply us in the time for the ceremony? Scarlet oil can be harvested from ladybugs, such as those found near Bannock. 6 of the Vilekin should yield you the necessary amount. Pray return to me as soon as you have it. You coming?
Yep. Well, I have to say one thing. Total embarrassment. It is really showing off our contrast skin tones.
Yeah, well. And we'll just kind of go around the loop here.
Normally, I backside of both of us, which, with in cloth and so on. Oh yeah, that's right. You are a chocolate bun.
Stout elm?
Those conjurers are something, aren't they? Healing the sick and communing with those elementals and such. Truly amazing. Don't suppose you could tell me what an elemental is, could you?
Elaine?
Innocence and sensibility. Conjurer Melanie seeks an assistant for her frantically busy student.
You there? You're an adventurer, yes? Good. I have a task for you. Take yourself over to the Conjurers Guild and speak with my student, Freya. Didn't we just talk with her?
Yes!
She has her hands full preparing for the auguries and would likely welcome your assistance.
Yes,
In her
she
excitement
already
in
has.
becoming a conjurer, I fear my young disciple is pushing herself beyond the limits of her endurance. Enthusiasm is all well and good, but it would not do to have an initiate collapse from exhaustion. So, I guess we go back this way. I guess I went around the wrong way. I'm sorry.
You were not to know.
A lot of this is city run around. Yeah, we're back. Hi. Yes, I am Brea. I'm also awfully busy. Oh, you said Lady Meline herself asked you to assist me? In that case, I suppose you might lend a hand, especially as mine appear to be shaking, though only very slightly. Not that it's anything to worry about, mere nervous energy. I would be exceedingly grateful if you would take this to Azame Rose Oil and refill the censers, as there are two that require attention. Please have care not to disturb the conjurers amid their meditations. You must be as quiet and unobtrusive as possible. Right. On a walk.
Oh, we're very unobtrusive. I mean, it's not like we're... or something. Azamaya Rose Oil. A fragrant oil pressed from freshly harvested azam... Sorry about the noise, I couldn't help it. The quest ping went off on me.
My thanks. I must admit to being rather impressed on how faithfully you followed my instructions. I had always considered adventurers to be an uncouth and rowdy lot, but I see you're capable of courtesy as well. Lady Meline has a fine eye for character. You should feel honored that she has chosen you for the task. I'll take the potion because I never use the Aether.
Something like that. 50 XP for that. Wow.
I know! When you're used to the high end, seeing these low end numbers is kind of sadly sad.
Not to mention, killing the shrink shrooms was 146 XP. Now that was with rest bonus, but no. Okay, next on the agenda. friendship. Nicolia needs the assistance of a kind adventurer. I know all about adventures. You'll do anything for a reward, won't you? Yes, including run around like this. Well then, I want you to make Nelly laugh. She's no good with strangers, so first you should introduce her politely, with a bow.
First I had shield hair, now I have cane hair. But you have cane hair too! Nelly?
Really? Are you really going there? Excuse me.
Hi.
Okay. Prompt a flying start here. That seemed to work, but she's still feeling sad. Try sharing the joy in your heart with her. That'll prove how nice you are. Not supposed to be back here, are you?
Really? That's joy? I think they got their animation swapped or something. You're odd.
Well, after that, yes we are. I think she's starting to like you. Good! Now that you've broken the ice, I bet that if you surprise her and just start dancing, she'll laugh her head off.
You're a really good dancer, miss. That looked fun. Maybe I should try it sometime.
We're practicing for on stage, so we'd better dance well. Thank you. You're pretty good at this. And they lost her father 5 years ago. All the she hasn't laughed much since then. So I wanted to. I mean, we're all worried, but with a lot of the younglings have been following me lately, and you wouldn't understand. Anyway, thanks for the help. Preserving the past. Adele is looking for an adventurer to deliver a forgotten item.
Ah, an adventure. Precisely what I need. Not a moment ago, we dispatched our newest recruit, Hare, to inspect Keto?
Yeah.
Keto's amphitheater. Regrettably, the young Hare has more spirit than sense, and he charged off without his tools. Suffice to say, he won't be getting any work done. Would you be so kind as to deliver them to him? Wonderful. Seek out Ulrich at the acorn orchard behind the atrium. He should have Ator's tools.
Adele sent you. Give me a moment. Here they are, still fresh and unused as the day he got them. Doubt he's even realized he left the bloody things behind. First day and he forgets his tools. Daft sod needs a kick up the...
That's okay. He's going to be so inspired when he sees us.
Very inspired to forget all about his tools again.
Okay, the main one over at the Roost is 14, so... Oh, wait.
That's a little high.
Nope. We've got one over at the, God's Quiver. My little black chocobo's trying so hard to keep up. Oh. Touchy. Did we touchy the one over at the Conjurer's Guild?
No. But we'll be there soon enough.
This is true. Whether we remember or not's another matter, but... Actually...
Well...
Chloe?
Ah.
We're discussing how to best deal with the Ixal threat. Perhaps an adventurer such as you could offer a fresh perspective in the matter.
Don't get killed.
Chintosalu?
Have you perhaps heard mention of the Ixali tribe of beastmen? Longbeaks, Sherptalons? They're a brutal race, preying on both man and beast with equal savagery. It is not an exaggeration to call them our most bitter enemies. And now we have frequent reports of the birdmen seen not a stone's throw from the city walls. Have a care not to end up in one of their stew pots, stripling. Yeah...
Familbus? Famibus?
Yeah, Famibus. Horse correspondence. Famibus of the Archers Guild wishes you to deliver a sealed message to the markets.
Hail, adventurer. Might you have a moment? I need a trustworthy soul to deliver this missive to Purnell. You can find him in the shaded bower in the midst of the markets. Why would I simply not go and speak with him myself? Speak with her myself? Well, as I'm sure you've observed, Gridanias have a tendency to be rather, in person, they can be, well, a little prickly on the side. The matter is not urgent. Simply hand over the missive the next time you find yourself in the markets. Please, as a favor from one adventurer to another.
Right, go to the markets and deliver a message to a prickly pear.
I'm debating whether we should buy clothes or not while we're at the market. Though all the side quests should start handing us stuff.
Yes. That's right, fix your hair. It's all you've really got after.
Hello, Purnell. Greetings, madame. Might you be looking to secure the service of a retainer? Oh god, a free company invite!
Really?
Famil sealed...
There he goes.
Sealed message.
This is a sealed message. A message entrusted to you at the Archers Guild by an adventurer calling himself the
What's this? A message from Famibus, you say? Whatever could it be about? Let me see now. She wants to know about the available stock of potions at the market. Hardly a matter that warrants the letter, much less hiring a courier. Why could she not ask the question in person? I sense that adventurers are far beyond our... I sense that adventurers far from beyond our borders find Gridania somewhat difficult to deal with. Where are we so truly devoid of warmth? If we mistrust outsiders, it is only because so many of them has brought chaos to the 12 Split, and such sins as theirs are not so soon forgotten. Yet, I suppose we might endeavor to be a little less cold. Hello, Parsimonitre.
Persimontre-nomics.
Oh,
Master of the Markets, Persimontre, is willing to permit an adventurer to assist him in fulfilling an order from the Lancer's Guild.
I am not going to accept this free company.
Yeah, well. Lost, are we? Unsure how to navigate the rosewood and ebony stalls? Very well. If you wish to know more of the markets, I shall give you a practical education, free of charge. As Master of the Markets, I entertain many requests. This order from the whalers, for example, but I delegate their fulfillment to my hirelings that I might tend to such tasks as I alone am capable of performing. For your personal betterment, I shall delegate the fulfillment of this particular request to you. I bid you search the stalls for a bone spearhead, a pot of beeswax oil, and a length of brambleweed rope, and deliver them to Singulid of the Lancers Guild. There is much and more to be found in these stalls if you have the dedication to seek it and the coin to procure it. However, as my representative, you can only offer my name as payment. None will deny me. In fact, many will be all too eager to part with their wares, so numerous are the debts on you. Fine proposition, is it not? I am spared a simple task, and you gain priceless mercantile experience. I should greatly charge you for such an opportunity. But worry not, I am a man of my word, and the terms will stand. Deliver the goods to Singulid. She may even see fit to reward you.
So we're first going to go over here. Welcome, welcome! On behest of Master Parsimonte, you say? To what do we owe the pleasure of your company today, milady? May I take this opportunity to say what an honor and a privilege to serve you. But you must have your beeswax oil without delay. Yes, yes. Feel free to take as much as you require, and of course inform Master Parsimonte that I was only too happy to accommodate his needs, yes? Have you been talking to a Namazu? I need to fix my hair. Gussid?
Sorry, lass, we ain't open yet. Oh, one of Persimontrins. Ellen, what was it you used? Bone spearhead? Ah, here she is. Take it and tell that bastard we're square. I don't know that he's... Oh.
Hello, little Namazu! Who has obviously had too much tea.
Number 777.
Alright.
You got discerning eyes, miss. The craftsmanship's truly something, ain't it? Perfect for securing any manner of... Persimontre. Gods, if I never hear that bloody name again, too soon. And there I was thinking I might make a guild today. Here, take the damn brambleweed robe and bugger off. I don't think he's very popular.
Oh, I don't have a back yet. Nothing. Let's try for an emote that we haven't earned yet. It's actually pretty late in the game, if I remember right. But it would be like the perfect remote right there. Wah!
What business have you with me, adventurer?
That's a girl.
It is? Yeah, okay.
Good try. Bad timing.
Hard to tell with the backlighting.
Yeah. And she isn't as endowed as us. What business have you with me, adventure? Hmm? Could you be upon bidding of Master Persimonte? Bone spearhead?
The bone of some large mammal whittled down to a sharp point.
Beeswax oil?
No. 1 part softened beeswax mixed with 2 parts olive oil used to treat leather.
And bramblewood rope.
A thick, sturdy rope twisted from common gravel.
So soon? I'm impressed. I placed my order only a short time ago, and yet here are all the items I requested. Truly, Master Persimonte is every bit as resourceful as they say. You are fortunate to work under such a man. You would do well to mold yourself into his image. If you have any aspirations as a merchant. Actually, could you do me a favor? Could you check to make sure we're actually streaming?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to double check. We've had issues before!
No, I've been checking.
Okay, thank you. Much appreciated.
In all our glory.
Yes. Oh, look, boots.
Quarrels with squirrels. Boyzilla of the Lancers Guild wants a fledgling adventurer to deal with a squirrel problem. Fresh-faced adventurer. The very manner of person I'd wish to meet. The Lancers Guild is looking for someone to track down and exterminate half a dozen squirrels. The infernal pests have been squeezing in under our floorboards every eve for the past several moons, and gnawing away at the support pillars. They have yet to inflict any serious structural damage, thank the builder, but I hesitate to bring such a trifling matter before the wood whalers or the gods' quiver. Hence my delight as your timely arrival. An adventurer who could not dispatch such woodland nuisances is not worthy of the name, not here in Gridania at any rate. And you know what becomes of incapable adventurers. But perhaps it is best you do not. The squirrels of which I spoke can be found in the central shroud. Return to me once you've disposed of them, assuming the task is not beyond you. For your sake, I sincerely hope it is not. We'll trust me.
Hello, Master Wayne.
Well met, adventurer. Is there anything you require?
He does a whole thing here.
Yeah.
What do you do here?
I'm Yuang, the master of the Lancers Guild. My charge is to oversee the training of those who to master the polearm. I served as a wood whaler until circumstance forced me to hang up my spear. Arrow to the knee.
Probably.
It was then that I took up my post here upon the recommendation of my captain. That was shortly after the calamity. I must confess that I was none too pleased to leave the front lines at first. With time I came to appreciate my new role, and now I would not exchange it for any other. See young Lancers fulfilling their potential is a fine thing indeed, and to know that you have helped them is finer still. Among the martial disciplines, ours is the most offensively minded. We wager all on a single thrust, that we might pierce the enemy line and open a path to victory. A Lancer flinches not before his enemy, nor does he know the meaning of fear. Yet there is a fine line between courage and folly. If you wish to become a Lancer, you must learn to discern one from the other.
What is the Lancer's art?
There exist myriad fighting styles, each with quality. None, however, can be claimed to be as offensively minded as ours. I'm pretty sure there's others more offensively minded. Our approach is ever one of attack, no matter what we face. An experienced Lancer is able to wield a polearm as if it were an extension of his body. He transforms into a raging storm before it, delivering a barrage of devastating thrusts and slashes. In order to facilitate such a relentless offense, we Lancers favor armor of leather and chainmail. Such things as provide adequate protection without sacrificing mobility. The measure of a lancer's worth is truly quite simple. How swiftly and decisively he can pierce the enemy's defenses. Very straightforward, I'm sure you will agree. For this reason, our art provides the truest reflection of an individual's ability, be it for good or ill.
Thank you. And there's a couple guys up here. We have Francis.
New recruits are quite promising. If they continue to hone their skills, who knows how...
And Harshifel.
Wood whalers were wise to allow the Lancer's Guild the use of their facilities. Training together can only lead to mutual improvement, and better qualified recruits for the Order of the Twin Adder.
And Jolene. The Whaling Barracks lies beyond. If you have no business here, I would thank you to return whence you came. Well, isn't she all prim and proper? And stuck up. I like the Lullafell doing push-ups.
Yeah. If you were her, would you really want to
Actually,
let it
I
float?
think that's one of the few Lullafells I've ever seen in Britannia that wasn't a player character.
Yeah. There's a few, but yeah, not very many.
Oh, and touchy. Touchy.
Okay, looks like... Okay, there's an 11 and a 2 out near the amphitheater, which we need to go to anyway.
Yeah, that's where we're headed. In all our naked bunny gloriness.
You know, not that I want to complain or anything, but I thought we're supposed to be giving it all, our all for the realm, not bearing it all.
We've had finer moments. I'll agree. Level 1.
Yeah, the other one around here is 2. I am Millicent. Hear me roar. Look like it is. Dumisa has need of an adventurer to deliver a message. You there, adventurer. Could you deliver a message for me? My superior, Millicent, is stationed outside Atelier Finiel. She's doubtless busy, but I'm past due to be relieved. Long past due, truth to be told. However, I can't simply abandon my post. Speak to her for me, would you? Choose your words wisely. She has a bit of a temper.
And Artur? He of the Forgotten Tools?
What? I'm terribly busy right now, and I would thank you not to bother me. I'm a carpenter of the prestigious Oak Atrium, and I have... Recruit's toolbox. A sturdy box filled with a set of pristine carpentry tools. Where did I put my... Oh, gods, I take it you're from the guild too, then. What's that? Adele sent you? With my tools? Yes. I was actually just about to go and, This is so embarrassing. My apologies. It's just, I've been so focused on the task at hand. You know, it's a miracle this amphitheater even survived the calamity. It was the Carpenter's Guild that saved it, moving it piece by piece and rebuilding it. When I saw that what they'd done for Gridania, I knew what I wanted to be. gods when they told me my first task was to come here. Anyway, thank you for bringing me my tools. You're new to the OK train too then, right? Well, let's both work hard for the good of the guild, eh? Oh, and may the elementals watch over you and keep you safe.
You're a good kid. Crazy, forgetful, but good.
You want the history lesson?
I think we better wait. It's like level 11, isn't it? No, it's 2.
No. It's just talking to him. Or Tor.
Oh dear, he gives a history lesson? Yes, he gives a history lesson!
Until 5 years ago, this amphitheater of this. Then the calamity struck and all but leveled the port place. Thankfully, the Carpenters Guild collected up the pieces, carried them over here, and rebuilt it just as it was before. I did not go a single day without looking it over, so afraid am I that some chip or stain is marred as perfection. And this should be, level 2.
A stain?
Sylphic Gratitude. Estain, the caretaker of Keto's amphitheater, needs an adventurer to help her tidy up.
Greetings, traveler. Welcome to Keto's famed atmosphere. Have you? I am Estain, caretaker of this fine centerpiece of Gridanian culture, and I fear I must needs trouble you for your assistance. You see, it is not only well-meaning women like you yourself who are drawn to this place. The sylphs often visit in the dead of night, long after our citizens have gone to bed. We've no particular objection to their presence, and they seem grateful for the accommodation. So much so, in fact, that last night they left us a token of their appreciation in the form of vegetables. A lot of vegetables. Their generosity. Their generosity is more than welcome, of course, but the sheer quantity of things makes gathering them all up something of a chore. And it's not as if I don't have enough to do already. In short, I'd be most grateful for any help you could give me.
Too much of a good thing.
Yeah, well, they are kind of big. And round. And pumpkinish.
Portish, at any rate.
We're gonna have a lot of pumpkin pie coming up, aren't we? At least we're not having to dodge the Continental Circus while doing this.
Yeah, that would not have done.
Sting? Well done, friend. Mikoto herself would sing your praise. She knew well the power of art and how it could strengthen the soul of a nation and preserve its history for future generations. This Atlas Theater was her greatest gift to Gridania, and it was her wish that all folk use it freely, not only for performance and festivals, but as a place to share memories and make new ones. I wonder if the sylphs come here to do just that. That said, I do wish they'd find other ways to express their gratitude. We have no need of vegetables here, but mayhap the Caroline Canopy can make use of them. Anyways, thank be to the elements for bringing you here today. Guess we go this way. Oh! Before we forget, because we almost did. Because we're so used to Artie being so attuned. Touchy, touchy. Millicent. What's all this about? Dizamon says he needs a break? The nerve! The sniveling little shite, crying for relief at a time like this. He has already forgotten how short-handed we are since the business with the Ixil the other day. And sending a bloody unknown venturer to do his bleating, no less. That self-serving sod thinks only of his own woes, rubbing his sore heels while welcoming all manner of gill-grabbing venturers into our holy wood. A useless bloody fool. Makes my blood boil, it does. But it's not you I should be giving a piece of my mind to. You seem a decent sort enough, considering. Still, understanding that it's our duty to keep an eye on every stranger that passes through here these parts. Any road, I'd appreciate you lending an ear to my subordinate, damn fool he is. Go on then, stay out of trouble.
Well, I see he's popular.
Checking with Millicent again. This here's the Leather Workers Guild, renowned throughout Eorzea for producing the best leather goods the guild can buy. If you're willing to wait 2 years, that is. They've more orders than they can fill, see? Which is why it's become necessary to maintain a whaler's presence here. Suffice to say, some customers aren't used to disappointment. Like that pricey, prickly fellow over yonder. Wonder what he's given up to... Wonder when he'll give up and go home.
I think she means Celestoire.
Celestoire?
Damn those stubborn leather workers. I spent a fortune on this worm and pelt, but they refused to use it in my order. God's sakes, the blasted creature's already dead. Surely it'd be a greater crime not to make it into a pair of boots. Yeah, he's not from around here.
Yeah. From here... Looks like it's this way to the other side. And we got the intercurrent in front of the guild, Leather Workers Guild, right?
Yes.
Hello, Hedon. You've got a nose in the book, don't you?
Were I to substitute the Aether in accordance with the Professor's Law of Conversion, that would produce a theoretical limit of 10 score, 5, and 50. Or should there be no limit? Oh, I didn't notice he's there, so utterly engrossed with calculation. Lest you wonder, I'm a student of the esteemed Professor Lambertier, the leading authority in the field of... You weren't wondering at all, were you? No.
No, not in the slightest. Selene? Hello, beautiful. Why, this is impressive. All this must be the work of Fufu-cha at the Botanist Guild. I wonder if it's worth the bother to present myself during my stay. That's right. Fufu-cha is the Botanist Guild leader. Oh, there we have another
Yes.
Lalafell.
Yes.
Samene?
Covered in roses. A botanist named Samian is hoping an adventurer will pick up scattered rose hips for her.
Stop right there. Not another step. I apologize if I startled you, but please be careful. The ground here is covered in rose hips. You see, my seed pouch has grown so threadbare and it finally split open. Unbeknown to myself, I've been scattering Azane rose hips all along the road. Oh, good madam, if you would help me gather them, I'd be ever so grateful. Thank you! Your kindness is truly a blessing from the elementals. The rose hips should be lying around the road between here and the Great Lomgari. Remember to tread lightly, lest you crush them underfoot. Helpless,
Kind of like the flowers you're
helpless
standing in the middle of.
NPC. And those are some really big rose hips.
Yeah, I was gonna say. They growing big around here.
One of these days, I would really like to know why there's a chocobo porter out here that you can't access.
Huh. I wonder if it's a leftover of the original layout of the IE and 1.0.
It might be. I mean, there's an actual back gate here that we can't go through.
Yeah.
Cecile? The nerve of some outsider waltzing into Gordania as if they were the elemental's gift to the Twelveswood. I'd wager most of them don't even know what a hoe is. Woo, prickly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Fufucha, the
Yes.
botanist guild master. These plots are tended by the botanist guilds. A splendid sight, is it not?
What do you do here?
My name's Fufucha, and I have the pleasure of overseeing the good works of the Botanist Guild. It is my duty to nurture the budding botanists of our guild, so that they may in turn nurture the life that flourishes here in the Twelveswood. The land whence I hail is barren place, you see, and ever has it been my dream to live and work amidst the verdant abundance. Like plants, dreams require nurturing. Tend yours well, and they will one day bear fruit.
So she really is from
Yeah, she
botany.
hit the wrong one, sorry. Man owes both his life and livelihood to nature. Without her bounty, man would have neither food nor to fill his belly, nor clothes to keep him warm, nor arms to protect him from harm. There exists a number of disciplines through which man avails himself of nature's bounty. Botany is one of them. In botany, one requires the knowledge needed to receive the gift of plant life. At the same time, one learns to understand the nature and accord her the respect she is due. Here, at the Botanist Guild, those who walk our path gather to hone their skills while striving for greater intimacy with the forest. So she's actually from Ul'dah, or
Yes.
the surrounding area.
And I seem to remember as you go through the botany quest, there is some more mention made of that.
Yeah, there's a gate over there,
Yeah.
and a gate back here.
She catch
And there's actually a couple other gates we've never actually been through.
Mm-hmm. Ah! We must have.
Yeah! Otherwise we wouldn't have access to the outside gates. Sweet! Don't have to worry about Gordania anymore. Pardon me as I walk all over your plants. Ethelred?
Once bitten, twice shy. A botanist named Ethelred needs an adventurer to make a delivery on his behalf. God damn it, another adventurer. You're like flies on muck. Whatever Gridania did to deserve such a plague, I suppose times are changing. But they keep telling me I should, and perhaps you might be... Oh, God's help me. Just take this as a may rose to Walden. Wait, would you? Well, what are you still standing there for? Go and deliver the bloody rose.
Okay.
Yeah, this is why Guardians are looked at askance by outsiders.
Well, it's not like we aren't running around in our whitey-tighties.
So? I mean, that's no reason to be rude.
Good madam, please tell me you've recovered all the rose hips and not abandoned, not that. Pray tell me you have recovered all the rose hips and abandoned not one to a traveler's boot.
Azamea Rose, the bitter fruit of an Azamea Rose.
Blessings be upon you. I feared this path would be lined with roses next year. Not that such a wondrous sight would not be wholly unobjectionable, but Azamea roses are ill-suited to this location. As a botanist, it is my responsibility to see Gridania's plants grow and thrive in the most ideal conditions. A place for every seed and every seed in its place, you might say. 'Twas most gracious of you to aid me in my time of need. I pray the elements extend you to the same kindness.
Not to mention, would you really want a bunch of thorny plants covering this?
Wadul?
Welcome, adventurer, to the Conjurer's Note. Here we commune with the elemental ether. Yet, I must confess, the elementals did not whisper of your coming. Azamea Rose, a single red Azamea Rose, trusted to you by Ethel. He did indeed request an Azamea Rose from Ethelred, but that you should bring it to us in his stead means that something wonderful has happened. Ethelred has long held a grudge against the pass through Gridania's gates. His beloved flowers are renowned for their beauty, you see, and were once so highly coveted by Uldan collectors that they were picked nigh to extinction by fortune-seeking foreigners. Yet, if it is peace we desire, we must all learn to look beyond mistrust born of the past and overcome our prejudice. So has the older seed seer taught us, and so we live. I doubt it was easy for Ethelred to entrust this Azamea. He hears we've received it, he will come to know that not all outsiders are deserving of scorn. Truly, it was by the will of the elementals that you came to us this day. Please accept this as a token of our gratitude.
Pearl?
Betting all me earnings on the artery. Can I take another bad herb?
I can understand that one. Waldo?
Listen, adventurer, enter to the rustling lead, flowing to the very pulse of this land. We conjurers of still glade fame interpret these whispers of the elemental, and convey them to the people of Gridania.
Kinseason?
Ahead, you shall find still glade fame where the conjurers conduct meditation. If you have business with them, you may proceed.
And we've already talked to those two. So, let's see if we can do this by going out the back gate instead of the front gate. Oh look, an independent arms mender. I wonder if any of my equipment needs repairing.
It might. Actually, my aetheryte earring could use a little touch-up.
Okay, fine.
Sugar is looking a little weathered.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Bonabonton?
These gates lead outside the city. Take the road north if you seek Kirstman, and keep west if you're headed for Folgord Float. Woohoo! 85 XP!
I see squirrels. I think there's ladybugs later on. But lots of squirrels. Nope,
There's ladybugs here, I see them.
Woohoo! No, give me that squirrel!
You're getting them all! What is up with you?
I'm supposed to be taking them, right?
No.
Lots of squirrels, no ladybugs. More ladybugs, yay! Get to pick on the ladybugs. Uh-oh, I've got boo-boo, might have to heal.
One more ladybug.
And we're going to get ground scroller. Just because.
They're actually best buds.
Okay. That's a level 6 quest. Woohoo! What you woohooing about? Oh, jeez! I got nothing!
Because all your gear is meant for tanks instead of magic classes.
I'm surprised you hadn't converted that stuff down or sold it.
Converted. That sounds like an excellent idea. Tell me more.
Oh, right.
This is part of why I still have it.
Ah, you're back. Have you procured the scarlet oil I requested?
Scarlet oil, a viscous yet odorless secretion taken from the underbelly of a common ladybug.
Phew! Yes, everything appears to be in order. The ceremony may proceed as planned. I am grateful to the elements for delivering you to us. Pray accept this small token of our appreciation.
They're almost exactly the same as what I'm
Woohoo!
wearing.
I've got gloves!
Gee, aren't you kind of covered up?
Oh god, gloves, but why tinies and
Breathe.
It's just the silliness of it all.
Breathe. picking up our new quest then?
Maybe after we've turned these in.
Uh-huh. Might want to save it for next week, period. Probably do the turn-ins and then call it.
Mm-hmm. It's just gloves and...
Yes. You're wearing the important stuff.
The whitey tighties?
Gloves, come on. Get with the program.
Jump.
Massively multiplayer online jogging zone.
Bustin' what?
The squirrels are dealt with then. Very good. I'm pleased to see you've proven yourself useful. What's that? Wonder what happens to adventurers who fail to complete such trifling tasks? Why, such sluggards soon find there is no place for them within the... And where do they end up after leaving Gridania? You'll hear the truth of that before long. Better?
Thanks! And they actually kind of look like yours. See?
Yeah, they pretty much are.
Slightly different color maybe, but...
Yeah.
Boots, gloves, and whitey tighties. Oh yeah, I'm on a roll!
Perfectly adequately dressed.
And I think we're going to park ourselves in the Conjurer's Guild.
Right. Just remember, if you believe you're perfectly adequately dressed, everyone else will too.
Uh-huh, yeah, right. Uh-huh. I believe you.
That's the idea. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna keep wearing this coat.
You abandoned me.
What do you mean? I'm right here.
You're wearing a nice hempen shirt. Actually, that's more of a robe. Half robe.
After
While you're letting me run around in the rain in my whitey tighties.
Yeah?
You abandoned me. You abandoned me to this horrible fashion faux pas!
I'll just wait until we get around to the Lumza classes. Because I won't have this to fall back on.
There. I'm joining the class. Okay, we're stopping a little early tonight because this is actually a good story break point. Thank you all for coming. You have a good evening and see you next time at the same bunny channel, same bunny time. Ain't that right?
Same bunny clothes?
Unfortunately, probably.